It may happen that you find that things aren't going quite right with your projects, and I suspect that some of you have gotten into C# in Visual Studio instead of Visual Basic. Here are a couple of ways that you can tell that you're working in C#. Up here at the top in the Design View tabs here, I see a .cs extension in my form. CS stands for C#. And then also over here in the Solution Explorer, I see a little C# in front of my project. If you're working in C#, you need to stop, back out, and get to Visual Basic. Let's get out of this project and start a new one. When you create a new project, even if, this is what it looks like when Visual C# is the default language, but even if Visual C# is the default language, you should be able to go down to Other Languages and choose Visual Basic. Okay? So over here we see all of these templates have Visual C# as the language. That's what we don't want, and then Visual C# is the default language up here. If we choose Other Templates, go to Visual Basic and Windows Desktop, here's the Windows Forms app in Visual Basic. That's what we want. And then up here we see it's got a .vb. Over here it's got a VB in the Solutions Explorer. Okay, how can we change the default language in Visual Studio? Well, that's a little bit of a convoluted process, and I have to thank one of your classmates for figuring it out and telling me how to do it. You go up here to Tools, go to Import and Export Settings, and you select, it starts out on Export. You go to Import Selected Environment Settings, click Next. We don't need to save the settings. I don't think we've got anything crazy going on quite yet. I'm going to click Next. I'm going to choose Visual Basic in the default settings and click Next and Finish. And then it says my settings were imported from Visual Basic. Now, if I close Visual Studio and open Visual Studio back up, and we go into Create New Project, we should see that Visual Basic is the default right up here. Now, when you switch it, if the last project that you started was in C#, it's going to still come up with C# as the default selection, and you'll still have to go over into this little menu and make sure you drop down and choose Visual Basic wherever it's found, either as the default language or as other languages, and then start your projects from Visual Basic, Windows Desktop, Windows Forms app, and then you can avoid the trouble of being confused with C#. Thank you very much. Bye.